Good evening and welcome to Rehab Talk Radio. I'm kicking with AD here. Say what's up, AD?
Howdy.
He's my co-host tonight. We're going to go ahead and zoom through the whatevers and ifs and ands or buts or whatabouts, life's treasures, whatever they have to hold. Tonight he's my interviewee. We're going to be going over some crazy topics here. We got challenges. We got everything from karate to creative writing. Anything that starts with the code word. Not the code word though. We don't do that. So
Exactly. We're friendly, we're gender neutral, we're politically correct.
we are very clinically correct in most cases.
Yeah. Sure.
There are those episodes. The reason we're on tonight is we're gonna go ahead and give my guest here an interview, see how things are going with him, and see his progress as far as the rehab's going for him. Because here we are, like I said, group of 73 guys all kicking it around, doing our thing. So if you want to, just go ahead and shoot off, say what you want to say.
First of all, I've been sober for roughly 4 months. I'm recovering from
4 months.
Yeah, 4 months. Recovering from opiate and alcohol dependency, a physical dependency as well as mental, and so I'm here to not only quit that, but to quit my way of thinking and change my way of thinking and habits, and it's not easy. Like I said, living with a lot of guys, we do have structure, but what I'm learning now is...
Barely.
Yeah, barely. But what I'm learning now is to have healthy habits and to make the best of the time we do have during the day. And I'm doing pretty damn good on it. If anything, I have to kind of chill out because I've been overdoing it a little.
Well, hold up. You gotta define what overdoing it is. Because I know you're involved in a lot of committees.
Yeah.
Just for everybody that's listening, if you want to give just a quick rundown on what a committee is, so that we can say which kind. Because you're in the fitness committee, you're in the kitchen committee, you're in the creative writing committee. What other committees are you in?
Creative writing. I run the art committee.
Art.
And like committee aside. I know that's an important topic, but I practice or I make time for that on a daily basis, whether it's a couple hours or 1 hour, and I work out, which helps. It helps in my recovery, and I make an effort to be part of whatever's going on downstairs or in general. I like to be a part of that a lot because it's good for me. I was very antisocial. I didn't have anyone to talk to. Truthfully, I'm an introvert, and I don't even really like to be around people, but it's good for a real life scenario, right? Because we're going to have to deal with people, and it's a good life lesson.
It is. You got to deal with people, unfortunately. We need each other, we hate each other.
Yeah.
We got a guy here who has had, 4 or 5 roommates now. Cannot stand being roommates with people. But hey, there's all different personalities here, Some like it,
you mean,
love people, some don't.
Referring to
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. We
no names.
Yeah, no names.
They wish to remain nameless. They would change
Is it that bad though?
Protect their identity. So it can be. Well,
since we're on that subject.
Yeah.
I was fresh up the street. Before I came here. I didn't have really anywhere to go for a few weeks. So I'm coming in here, 4-man room off the top of the head.
To clear it up, when you move in here, you're black lanyard, obviously, you're in a blackout period. You got 4 people in the same room. That's custom. That's normal. It's right. How it goes. It's the way it is here.
Right, and it was okay for me at first because this is a blessing, but like socially and like conflict wise, it was really hard because there was an individual that. I don't know if he saw me as a mark, but he wanted everything I had, and I didn't even have anything for myself.
Crash is like being in prison.
Yeah, it's like being in prison. It's like the hustler mentality, and that was hard. That was really hard for me.
Which is not normal, though. I mean,
no.
To be honest with you, I didn't know. You kind of had like a unique case.
Yeah, I did. I had a lot of internal friction, and it was rough until I realized one day, I'm still realizing that we're here for us. Like, you can't get caught up in how someone else is feeling because, in a sense, I'm a people pleaser. And, it's good intentions, but not only is it people take advantage and capitalize on that, right?
I'm noticing
it's a cruel world, right?
A lot of people.
It's a cruel world.
They do. They like to.
Yeah.
They do like to try and take, and especially if I hear that word all the time around here, like the word people pleaser. There's a lot of people here that like they enjoy doing stuff for other people.
Yeah.
But there are cats that unfortunately now they come and go, but they do like to take advantage or try and mess with people or whatever. It really tests like our patience on how we can handle things, because when we first get here it's a completely different ballgame as opposed to being here for like 3 months when we know how to handle a little bit better. I guess we get used to each other in a way. Maybe we grow.
You grow. You grow. I grow. Most people grow. It's really about setting aside your pride, letting pride go, and realizing, man, maybe I did overreact, and coming back to yourself and worrying about yourself. And I'm just now learning that. It's really hard. And, some people stay busy to cope with it. It's kind of what I'm doing. I'm at the point where I need to just relax sometimes, right?
Deep breath, get into what you've learned while you're here, like your creative writing or your job or fitness. Fitness is, that for me, that's been a great let go. It's been a great stress reliever.
It helps. It helps. And, you're getting results, I noticed. And your whole attitude and way thinking, that's the idea, right? And
Thanks,
we
man.
have fun too. That's
right? Appreciate that. Yeah, you as well.
Yeah.
You do. You get results if you keep consistent with it. You keep a schedule on it. You know, you got to make sure to take your rest days.
Yeah.
Yeah. You start to think a little bit more clearly, especially since we're eating a little bit more healthy. Because there's a few of us. Before I came here, I wasn't eating for squat.
No,
you know what I mean? If I ate, I usually drank my dinner.
Yeah, I did too. Speaking of drinking. Could you know how people have dinner and then sip their beer? Could you do both at the same time? That's fucking...
No.
Like, it's gross.
I could smoke and eat my dinner, which was weird, but I could never drink and eat my dinner. Yeah.
But, like, beer, like, it got to a point where, with my alcoholism, like, I would have to choke it down and I'll instantly throw it up, and then I have to gag it back down with the alcohol because my stomach was so fucking sick that I didn't have a choice. I had to get it in me. Fuck.
Yeah, you throw up and then drink more, and then because you had to. I totally understand that, especially if it was like a beer or a drink that you didn't prefer.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, like if you're drinking like Pabst Blue Ribbon or that lovely Hurricane, baby.
But it's those Hurricanes and just it's liquor that gets me. I can't do it. But
well, like you're not down with like straight liquor or in like girly drinks or mixed.
I would do beer, but liquor if I had it. But it got to a point where even with beer, my stomach would be so sick and needed a break. But I had to choke that beer down, and I'd be fucking miserable because like if you go all day, or I'm gonna wait till 5, and if you don't have it, you feel the darkest fear envelops my body. Like it creeps in like a pain in your fucking soul. Like this shit is serious, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How did it feel when you knew you had to drink?
Yeah, when I did it, it was I was always on the clock.
Yeah.
See, there are 2 types of alcoholics, my friend. As you know, there's the functional alcoholic and the dysfunctional alcoholic, which was what I was teetering on the edge of. And the clock was always against me because I would have this X amount of hours as opposed to when I got off work to where I had to go back to work, and then that X amount I had to get to sleep, so I'd force myself to get to sleep, or I'd drink myself so much that I would pass out, and then I'd have to wake up and then while hungover take care of my business, such as laundry or bills or favors that I'm doing for a friend, and then go to work, and then when I got off work I'd start the whole process over again. It's a downward spiral.
It's dark as it gets.
Yes.
I mean,
now, when you were you functioning alcoholic while you were?
I did work. I was working as a cook. I would get a bottle filled with hard seltzers. I would talk normally, function normally. But yeah, I had a good job. I had good restaurants as a cook. But as a human being, as an individual, I grew stagnant. You know, you do not grow, you do not progress. Every day is the same thing, like Groundhog Day. It's pretty freaky if you think about it.
Oh, I call that the plateau.
Yeah, the plateau.
Yeah, you're just dead desert, just straight, not up, not down, not any direction, numb, just numbly traveling.
Yeah, but going nowhere, and no ambition, no nothing. I don't miss that. I've grown so much in these past 3 months. You know, I have probably in the past 3 years. It's crazy.
I can totally agree with that. Same here.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, 6 months ago, I never thought that I would be talking to anybody that's doing as much as you have, letting alone trying to do what I'm doing. I mean, I hadn't picked up a guitar in God knows how long.
Me too.
A year and a half, and here we are playing it almost every day, both of us. I know that because I know you play, you know that I play.
Yeah, you play more because you have it, but I'm gonna come play more with you. But yeah, we regularly practicing a skill, and not everybody has that, and that's a beautiful thing. You're good. You're a fucking damn good guitarist.
Hey, you as well, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Very impressed with your guitar skills.
Yeah, appreciate that.
For sure.
But yeah, we just talked about addiction, and with that being said, yeah, it's hard. I wanted to talk about my. For those of you who didn't know, I trained in karate for 4 years in my adult life.
That is what I was about to just ask you.
From age 21 to 25, I was training 5 times a week for roughly 2 hours each time, if not more. I was doing it to the fucking fullest. I lived it, breathed it.
Now, this was in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
correct?
This was in Vegas.
Okay.
And I trained at the school, and I was one of the most dedicated fucking student, and still am. It's just I haven't practiced in a couple of years.
What age did you start at?
Age 21. The funny story. The reason why I started is someone was trying to kill me in Vegas. Right? They pulled up, and they wanted to kill me and hurt me really bad. And I got away. Luckily, after that day, I said I'm getting a gun or learning martial arts. So sometimes something bad has to happen for something really good. And the better I got, the more dangerous I was, that ironically the more clear-headed and gentle and friendly, and I found a lot of internal beauty. It was beautiful. And a lot of people, when they turn 18, I want to get a college degree, I want to have a family. At the age of 18, my life journey was to find enlightenment, like the Buddha. Mm-hmm. So I looked through different avenues, whether it was karate or meditation or yoga. I would do that to the fullest in order to find enlightenment, like the Buddha. That was my life fucking thing.
As you wanted to go next level.
Yeah.
I heard now Buddhists are very self-aware, very, very focused on what they do. I'd seen a documentary of a group of Buddhists that had gone out to the Himalayas from their temple, and they brought sheets with them, and they had a camera crew, and the camera crew was with them, and they had tents and sleeping bags, and they froze their ass off, and all these Buddhists had was sheets, and they managed to stay warm, survive, and sleep through the night. And they asked them how did they do it, and they said they imagined a fire coming out of their head.
Yeah,
that's got to be some next level Zen stuff, which I wouldn't mind learning.
Yeah, those are monks. Those are monks.
Monks, yes.
But Buddhism isn't what's it called? It's not a religion.
No,
it's not even it's some people consider religion. It's not even really a philosophy.
Yeah, what is the
lifestyle.
True difference? Yeah,
it's a lifestyle. It's a whole way of thinking. It's a whole way of living. That's what Buddhism is. And I was exposed to it at a young age. My mom would take us to Hacienda Heights, little kids. My mom's a very cultured woman. She's white.
Where'd she take you?
Hacienda Heights is a Buddhist temple, huge Buddhist temple with the monks. So she would leave us with them, and they would be babysitting us. And we are exposed to the big statues in the temple, the Buddhist temple. Yeah, I grew up in Southern California.
Okay, and then so you come from a Caucasian background, as well as go ahead.
My mom is white. She's from Ohio. My dad is from Ethiopia. So.
Okay, so you're Caucasian Ethiopian.
Yeah.
Or Ethiopian. Oh, right on.
Yeah.
That's good. So you learned about Buddhism. You learned the values of it. What are some of the main values? Because I was born Christian.
Okay.
And I was raised on Christian values, like 10 Commandments kind of stuff, like shall not steal, shall not covet thy neighbor's wife, no graven images, anything like that. And you didn't. What similarities were in balance with that?
With Christianity?
No. Yeah.
Well,
what are the core values of Buddhism, if you don't mind asking?
The whole idea is to be the best person and make the most use, the most practical way of this life of ours. And if you really want to go deeper, the more you figure out, the more you kind of figure out that you don't figure it out. And sometimes the answer is so simple that you miss it. And with Buddhism is the simplicity.
Yeah. Now, in Christianity, Catholicism, a lot of different religions.
Yeah.
It's believed that if you don't do good things, then you're punished.
Right.
Is there a punishment belief in Buddhism?
They do believe in there's that aspect of reincarnation. There's an aspect of karma that comes into play too, whether it's good or bad karma. We all have a certain amount of karmic debt that we'll deal with either sooner or later.
So it's basically, are you born like a happy life, or are you born a Hillshire Farm chicken?
Regardless of what you're born into, it's like I said, it varies.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, if you do something really bad, then that karmatic value, I guess is the way to put it, would be offset this.
I can't speak on what I know what you're hinting at, but can't really speak on the death part. Mm-hmm. But there is my mom was really into this book called The Tibetan Book of the Dead, and there's a lot of aspects to it. My mom was very intelligent. With being exposed to a Buddhist way of life at a young age, my mom is also involved with the Hindu temple too. She was into Hinduism a lot, which is a whole other thing. There's deities, there's gods, there's goddesses and princesses, but we're exposed to that too. And my mom was one of the smartest women I've ever met. So I was exposed to a lot of cultures and ways of thinking at a young age. So there's that. Yeah.
Because there's people that are deep religious households that shelter their children. Now, I dated a woman like this. This isn't coming from me talking out of my ass.
Is she a freak too?
In ways, yeah. The relationship was pretty much over when she told me that she was 30 years old and she was still getting scared running to her mom's bed. I'm like,
oh my god,
we're
that's
good.
bad.
That is an extremely religious, sheltered life.
That's bad.
To each their own, just not for me.
But yeah, I don't blame him for wanting to. I mean, the world is a harsh place, but I mean, it's not grounded in truth and reality. You're not gonna be able to cope with it, right? I get it. We all want to protect the things we love the most, our children. You know, we want to protect them from it. But that's a whole other thing, right?
No, a lot of people love their children most. There's some people that love themselves the most. There's people that love comets the most. They watch Comet Hale-Bopp. Yeah, I don't know if you're too young for that. I think it was in like 1994, 1993. It was a comet that came by, and there was people in LA County that all had been part of this Heaven's Gate cult.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, the drink poison, and they think they're gonna go to it's a weird cult thing. It's dark.
They thought it was I think it was a spaceship that was behind it, that they were gonna board the spaceship if they did it. I mean, that was most important to them. They drank the Kool-Aid the way Jim Jones did.
Yeah.
Yep. It's very weird. Cults I could never understand. There was one, it was a Jim Jones thing that happened in South America. He convinced 900 people to drink the Kool-Aid. That's hence the expression in like the late 70s, early 80s, somewhere around there. Very, very strange people. But I understand what you're talking about, though. Back to values and value. What most people value, is it very much should be their kids. Yeah.
Right. Make me think. It's what do they have to gain by killing 800 people, getting them to drink? What do they have to gain from it? That's some weird shit, right?
You see it in movies, like people they're like, oh, I'm gonna watch you like the movie Firestarter. You know, he's like the killer in that movie. He wanted always for them to look at his eyes so that he can take them with him to the afterlife. I mean, you never know what's going on behind the eyes. You know,
that's some crazy
minds.
shit. Yeah. But in terms of like, there's some gang members, for example, that when they shoot someone and take their fucking life, they believe they absorb their fucking energy when they get some crazy shit.
Really?
Yeah, some dark shit.
I did not know that.
Yeah, but some of them believe that. Like I said, when you take their shit, when you take their life from them, you absorb their energies, their essence. They get addicted to that. There's a thrill, and I wouldn't know. I have no interest in killing somebody. I don't even know if killing somebody is forgiven by God. They say it is.
I would imagine that'd be pretty counterintuitive if you are raised in Buddhist and Hindu belief and you find power in killing people. It's very counterintuitive.
No interest in hurting anybody.
No. And you do seem like a fairly level-headed religious person.
Yeah.
I can't help but ask this question to what I ask all my guests and everybody. What is it that brought you here, if you don't mind me asking?
Brought me here?
Yeah, what brought you into the world that has your drug of choice?
Brought me here in terms of this place that we're at?
All three.
Opiates got the best of me, really. opiates. I could not function. Like I could not act normal anymore. For a while I could not bring it together. As long as I was doing it, I realized I just couldn't. It was not working for me. It will never work again for me. That's pretty much what got me here.
What was like the first time you did it? If you,
The first time, well, I started with narcos and hydrocodone.
now, was this prescribed to you?
This was not prescribed to me, and I would take them. Didn't really think much of it, but with some friends, you kept taking it. One day, took 5 or 6 narcos in. It just clicked, and I was like, I really fucking like this feeling. And for 6-7 years, didn't even touch it. But after that, I really wanted more opiates, and I ended up trying heroin at 24.
Well, I mean, you didn't just want it out of nowhere.
No,
you tried it again, I'm assuming. So.
I don't want to play the victim role, but I'm a victim of what you would call the 2008 opioid wave of prescription pills. A lot of people got caught in that wave. A lot of people never made it. Because remember that 2008?
Yeah, from what I understand, a lot of people had gotten injured, and doctors were giving out opioids like candy. It was completely a free-for-all on the whole thing. And then you'd get an overprescribed, if I'm not misunderstanding, and then you would have to get that same fix, a person would, and then they would end up going to heroin for that same, or whatever their opioid drug of choice, whatever.
Exactly.
Okay.
I had appendicitis when I was 19, almost died. My shit almost busted open in my stomach and infected all my other organs. Almost died. I was away from dying. Had appendicitis.
I always hear about it in the movies, but I never get to see meet anybody that's had appendicitis.
Yeah,
like, I'm sorry, I don't want to bring up old memories, but what is that? Okay, I'm bringing up old memories. What is that like?
Well, I'm sorry. It's at first I had a really bad stomach ache, and then, I'm 19 years old. I'm not a fucking little bitch, and I'm crying on the couch. Like, something is very wrong. I was crying, my eyes are wide. The pain was, it was really bad. So they gave me Dilaudid, and they said right when I got to the hospital, he needs to go to surgery, like immediately. Yeah.
So they knew right away.
They knew right away. They're like, we're taking him under now.
Organs.
It happened so quick. They put the mask on me. I wake up. They're giving me Dilaudid. I'm asking for more Dilaudid. I love that. And then they sent me home. I made sure they sent me home with a bunch of narcos or Vicodin, a big bottle of Vicodin, and sent me home with.
Now, were those orally taken, or did
orally,
you? Oh, so because you hear about people that have snort them, or smoke them, or did they smoke them? They smoke some drugs. I don't know about
that. Tylenol in them, like for example, Percocet has oxycodone / Tylenol in it. People snort them, and it's the dumbest shit. 30 milligrams of Percocets. Those are the 30s there. Have fentanyl in them now. They're fake.
That's right. Let that be a lesson, kids.
Yeah.
Do not take a medication unless otherwise prescribed by your doctor.
Yeah. This new generation is fucked in many different ways in terms of different street drugs, and it's scary.
Well, I was confused with the generation during the Tide Pod challenge. That's where the generation lost me.
Like who? Like, I don't know. How can you be that fucking stupid? Like, how could you even have somebody going? Like,
now, was this anything to get on YouTube thing?
I
That
don't
I can
know.
understand. Is it like the ice bucket challenge?
Yeah,
I can understand that.
Some irresponsible little kid shit. That's all it was.
Strangely, still mystified by the whole thing.
Yeah, but people, I don't know if it was supposed to get you high or just be a challenge, but that's fucking scary.
Oh, yeah.
You would think you'd raised your kids smart enough, but you're no there.
It's a generational thing. Every generation has this weird kind of thing that they do. And with my generation, it was big pants. We called them Jinko jeans, if you ever heard of them. They were big old elephant leg pants. They were horribly expensive. Way too much for what they were worth, and that Jinko shorty skateboard stuff, Vans made it through. Like, we have a lot of people that wear like Vans shoes in this house.
Yeah, they're still hip.
That was popular when I was. I mean, if you could still be like a different social group, but still be a skater. It was kind of that in between shoe, and it didn't like specify you as a skater. Now, shoes like America's, you use Shoe Goo, stuff like that, you were, but like Airwalks were kind of like...
Airwalks.
Okay, they still have that reputation then. Okay, you know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah.
They were
They're like,
they were on the
"High
other side of the track.
But I'd like to speak on generation, and it's very concerning. Let's talk about the ages of, let's just say, 18 and under nowadays. The problem with phones, I know you hear it all the time, is if one, they don't know how to use time management. There's a time and place for these phones we have. There's a time and place. There is a purpose for them. But when you're on them all the time, the problem, these kids don't know how to talk. They don't know how to talk to each other. They don't know how to communicate. They're awkward.
Like we're doing now.
Yeah, we have that skill because we didn't have that.
We didn't have that safety net to fall back to.
No, we didn't. Our phones weren't like that. They just dialed numbers.
Yeah,
that was it.
When I was young, we didn't have phones. We had pagers when I was a teenager.
Yeah, there. See.
You know.
So you have to learn social interactions, and also with the generation, for some reason, the new rock and roll's hip hop, and it's as dark as it fucking gets. Like, I don't know, they look up to these fucking rappers. Ain't doing shit, ain't talking about shit, but perpetuating the fucking cycle of fucking killing and drug dealing. Drug dealing died in the 80s. Like, there's... don't even get me started.
I would have thought rap would have died in the 80s. Not to pull too far away from the tracks. I was also going to ask you what brought you here in general. Like,
I wanted something better for my life. I wanted something better.
Now, there's two types of people that are here. There's voluntary, non-voluntary.
Voluntary.
You are completely voluntary. You came here out of your own free will.
Absolutely.
Which is way commendable.
Yeah.
Very much.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of people, they don't have the strength to come through, and the people that do have a very tiny chance. So
yeah,
it's a dangerous world out there, especially when you are an addict.
Yeah, especially when you're an addict. You don't know how else to live. You don't know how else to talk to people. You don't know how else to... It's crazy. It's so all-encompassing. It's fucking crazy.
Now, I'd say my lowest point was probably when my hands had swole out and my feet swole out. I was in the middle of the desert. I was losing my job. I had no place to go. And I was at the end of my ropes with pretty much family to depend on to get me here. If you would to describe your, like, any type of a low point, was that what got you here? Was your lowest point, or was there a lowest point before that?
I've gone to some dark places.
Oh, yeah.
I've gone to some dark places. And it's not really all that unique. It's pretty common, but it was low enough for me to not want that for myself. Yeah, that was past. And I have faith. I believe in God. I believe it's different for me now.
All right. Were you did you have housing? Not to pry too much, but
just
to get
cool.
a basic outline.
It's cool. I always had a job. Always had a place to live. Like I said, I cooked for a living. That's how I made my money. My true burning desire is music. I cooked for a living. I always had a place to live. Yeah.
So you got here before things got completely blown to shit.
Exactly.
That's good. A lot of people they don't get here until it's like bottom of the barrel type of thing. So
yeah, which is good too. Which is really good in its own way.
Well, yeah.
The odds, in this game, you have to be a fucking soldier. Like, you have to stick with the winners, bro. It's because the odds are against us, you know?
Oh, in life in general, in this house.
In this house, the odds are against us. And we've already seen how many people flip. Right?
They are. What did they? I believe they said something along the lines that the people that run this place is around 90% fail.
Yeah. That's okay. Mm-hmm. Well, anyways, you have to stick with the fucking winners. Because, shit, man, right? You gotta stick with people who actually going somewhere, doing stuff, and have priorities, and like-minded, and smart.
Yeah, when you get here, you can't weed them out really all that well, because you're learning everything, but as time progresses, you know, you start to get a good idea of, like, you got a pretty good shot, you need a little bit of work, but you can make it, you know, I don't rule anybody out at 0%.
Yeah, you never know.
But, because I'm going to be honest with you, when you first came here, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, nobody was sure.
Nobody was sure. You ended up blowing everybody's mind, because you ended up being so involved in all these programs, and not only that, but you were ahead of a lot of these programs.
Yeah.
You know, you're a hard worker. You don't only just do what you got to do in the house and all your committees and everything, but you also help other people out.
Yeah.
You know, and it's honestly, it's got the staff here kind of confused, which I got to have a meeting about tomorrow, but partially. Yeah, because you're just so
Involved.
ready. Yeah, you're definitely at the helm.
Thank
a lot
you,
of
man.
things. And
Thank you so much.
It takes a lot of strength, and it takes a lot of good characteristics in a person to do that.
You too,
You know?
man. You too. I'm gonna take all the glory. I like you a lot. Like how you work out every time. I like play guitar. I like how you're fucking cool first and foremost. I fuck with you, man.
Ditto, man. You're a good guy.
And yeah, you help out. You're part of that shit. You know.
You know, I think everybody should be a part of the community. If everybody had just a little bit of dedication, that could go a long way.
Exactly.
It could go very. Not to say everybody's doing nothing. They are doing something, but there are those that, you know, that would be seriously impactful. They have a lot of knowledge. They have a lot of things they could contribute. It's just a matter of whether or not they want to do it.
Yeah, for
What
sure.
their priorities are.
Yeah, us type of people with our addict are usually remarkable, fucking capable people. Most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Very smart. Most of us fucking sharp as it gets.
Yeah.
And my dad would always tell me, my dad, very wise guy, he's very smart. But he always tell me, son, you're fucking the smartest people, the ones that get in the most trouble. And he would always pull me aside, a lot of kids too, and he would say, you were always my favorite. Don't tell the rest. Like,
You know,
yeah.
and that's a you know, I gotta give leverage to all parents out
Yeah.
there, because there are a majority
Yeah.
of them. My mother had that talk with me too,
I believe it.
and said, she looked at me and she said, look little Kovac,
Mhm.
everybody's got a favorite, every parent's got a favorite, and guess what, you're mine. And I said, right on. And she said, don't tell your brother. And I
Yeah,
said,
don't
okay.
tell your brother. They love us all equally, but they see a little bit more. You know, having that it factor, have it.
Now, not to say that if like you
Yeah.
haven't had that talk, that you're not the favorite or anything like
Yeah.
that, but I mean, it's just that there are parents that do that. I'm just relating to.
Yeah, but it's not about fucking having all the glory. It's what, yeah, my dad would say that the smartest people get in the most trouble, because the smartest people have the most trouble and they're tortured by their own minds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tortured by your own mind.
That is why a lot of people that I think have addiction, that they need to go deeper into psychosis, psychology.
Yeah.
I would think that a lot of it is psychology. With me, I know it was psychology. I didn't think it at the time. Did you ever grapple with that? Like, was that on your mind? Was that
Psychosis?
yeah, was that anything to do with your addiction, or was yours just completely separate?
I will say this, I did, using stimulants, I went into a drug-induced psychosis, and that was really bad for me. That was really fucked up. And sober, it doesn't happen to me, but I couldn't do stimulants for that reason.
This is good. I have the opportunity to ask my first guest how they would describe a drug-induced psychosis, because anybody that's been down that
Oh
rabbit
my
hole,
gosh.
they know, and I couldn't put it into words. So I
I'll
think
say
it would
what
be
I'll
great
say.
for you to describe it to the folks
say
at
it.
home, what it's like to go down the hole. It is sinister, and it's custom made.
Yeah.
It's very tailored to it.
That's freaky, huh?
Yes, when you're going into the mouth of madness,
Yeah.
it's almost a surprising worst fear. Like I
Yeah.
said, I got at my most deranged moment. I was in a 9-day binge into bath salts.
Man.
I'd already gone blind from smoking it, and then I had looked down at the tinfoil because I was freebasing it off the
Yeah.
tinfoil. And when you're using it over and over, it crinkles.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so I had a bunch of crinkled, and then I turned it sideways and I looked, and there's my brother's handwriting from the devil saying he's coming to kill me. I threw it. I ran outside in my underwear, and I called my dad begging him to come get me in the snow in December here in Reno, Nevada, 12 years ago. Like I said, after that, I got shipped to, at the time, it was called
how was
Westcare,
that?
which is long gone now. But
What was that like?
Westcare?
Yeah. How was it bad for you?
It was a detox center.
Yeah,
So
bath
it wasn't too
salts-
bad.
into
Bath
the
salts-
psychosis. That's the worst one you can do. It's well, there's also
I think there's worse, like a
Flocka. This is a
Flocka
shit-
or crocodile.
Yeah, well, crocodile isn't a psychosis. That's physical. But Flocka is, for people that don't know, is alpha PVP, which is a very rigid, ugly, fucking stimulant.
It is in the
Powerful.
same group as bath salts.
Yeah,
Believe it or not,
but-
they're both cathinones. They're both in the
Yeah.
cathinone family, which is a pyrazine drug.
but it lacks euphoria, and it's way powerful, and it's dysphoric and very instant psychosis and crazy shit.
Oh yeah, you see, I believe we'd said this last time we talked, that I'd mentioned there was a guy that was, I'd watched videos on it on YouTube, and there was a guy scooting around a cop car just because he couldn't stand up. He's scooting, and he doesn't even realize where he's at or where he's going.
It's
a lot like the people we see outside. You know, we've discussed this, like, what are they on? Because
it's the meth, man. That meth's fucking people up. It's
I would
bad.
like to say it's meth, but there's
it's both.
It's like somebody spiked a punch at the party that already had booze in it. You know, there's somebody put a little something extra in the party bowl.
Yeah, they do, and we don't know where it's coming from or why or how. And it's just like, roll the dice. So we take this fucking, it's crazy. It has MDMA a lot of times too, which makes no fucking sense.
There was a guy I'd seen, he was digging. Like, digging. Is that I know that's not a meth thing. You don't go out on meth and go dig.
Well, everyone has their own trip. Yeah, some people get spooked out from the car. Some people fucking hear. Some people think there's a camera being drilled in the room. They're watching.
That's a lot of bath salts.
Yeah.
When I was up for too long, yes, my neighbor would be vacuuming, and I thought that he was building a torture dungeon for me and my daughter.
Oh my gosh.
I was gone. That was the dark part.
That's fucking scary, and that takes a lot of strength to talk about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it really does.
It got to the point I stood over my daughter protecting her with a knife in each hand for hours at a time, thinking my neighbor, and all he was doing was vacuuming the floor. That's all he was doing. But I could have swore it was like a saw blade going off, that he was building a torture dungeon. Your mind goes there. You just that's a psychosis that we're talking about.
That takes me back. And yeah, so I did downers. I didn't want no part of that shit, you know, to suppress everything. You know, downers, fentanyl. I would do it like coke. I had a tolerance that bad.
Now, is fentanyl? It is a downer.
It's an opiate, man. It's an opiate. It's synthetic opiate. It doesn't derive from the opium poppy like heroin does. Fentanyl is completely lab made. It's cheap. It's abundant. It's easy to sell as China white. Whereas heroin, it's expensive because it needs a natural commodity like opium poppies, which don't grow anywhere. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you can educate me here. Yeah. So they're putting it's an opiate.
It's opiate.
Now, isn't it counterintuitive for them to put it into like a stimulant?
Yeah, exactly. But they do it anyway. Don't make.
Why are they putting it in meth? What is the reason that they're putting it in meth?
So people come back and get it. They want that shit. They don't know what they want, but it's fucking. They put it in there, so you want more. It don't make sense, but they do it.
But isn't meth addictive enough as it is?
What? Man, people, that's just how it goes. It's well known.
Well, you're saying that fentanyl is more addictive.
Well, they're both.
Or is it just two birds?
More physically addicting, yeah. But meth is ragingly addictive. But physically, yeah, fentanyl's worse.
Okay, so you're killing two birds with one rock.
Yeah, killing two birds with one rock. Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, it is a crisis. Everybody knows somebody that has had some type of a hospital or death episode from this stuff. Man, it's becoming a nightmare. It was just meth was sweeping the country in my years. Serious drug addiction, and now it seems to have graduated from meth to pills to heroin, and now it's all of a sudden fentanyl.
Fentanyl, it's opiates, it's rappers talk about lean, Percocets, and that's the influence they're putting on kids. So hip hop, I don't really like hip hop. I used to. It's just it's.
I don't know how many years ago I first heard about it, but I thought it had something to do with there was this pill out a long time ago. It's called fen-phen, and it was something totally different. They had a recall on it. It was called Ponemin, Redux, and fen-phen. There were these three drugs, and I thought it was assuming to fen-phen meaning fentanyl, but it had nothing to do with it whatsoever. This turned out being something different. That's kind of what took me by surprise, is because when I first heard the name of fentanyl, I'd assumed that it was like a harmless drug, like a dietary supplement. No. And I think that's the problem with a lot of Americans. We didn't take it seriously.
No.
When we had the chance.
But it's as serious as it gets. Like, it is really fucking bad. It's killing people more than anything.
It is. Trying to look up the facts on it. 13,165 deaths reported in 2020.
13,165.
That's just in heroin alone. That's not with fentanyl. Opioids,
they try to keep it under wraps how bad it really is, but we see it firsthand.
You'd think they'd just have a plain number for it. You wouldn't have to go hunting for it. Okay, here we go. 2021 overdose deaths, 7 county metro, Minnesota. That's just in Minnesota alone. It's saying statewide 1,200. That's in Minnesota alone. Minnesota's, I don't even think that's one of the higher populated states. Nonetheless, 1,600 times 50. So that'd be around probably, I would say anywhere from 40 to 100,000 based off what the internet's saying right now. I'm gonna need more time to delve into that. But
yeah, it's serious. My relapse, it's that serious. It could easily, by the numbers, be the death of me by relapse. Now I won't be all twacked out trying to come back.
Yeah,
it's scary.
So you definitely are done with it. You would rate your survival statistics if you ever went back on it to very minimal, correct?
Oh yeah.
That's about what I would rate it as too.
For sure.
With mine, with alcohol, my hands would get swollen up. My face was bright red.
You get swollen? Yeah.
And I couldn't deal poker anymore because my hands wouldn't move.
Oh my gosh.
So that's when I knew I was in a lot of trouble with my face. Everybody was like, "Gosh, did you get a lot of sun today?" My face just was so red from drinking.
Yeah, your face would get red.
Yeah, you know that's when you know you're screwed. When your face starts getting red, it's time to go see somebody. It's because nothing but bad follows from that. That and my stomach was like twice the size it is now. It was a huge stomach.
What were you drinking?
Vodka and orange juice and Budweiser and
cheap vodka.
Oh yeah, like that Popov, the red and black one.
Oh, it makes me want to throw up right now.
Yeah, we love that stuff.
Gosh.
Yep, that you just pile it on with Minute Maid orange juice.
Oh, I know how that goes.
I learned through that though. I got an education that everything will say 100% pure orange juice.
Nah.
And you see little itty bitty letters underneath it. It says
from concentrate.
Exactamundo.
Exactly.
That pissed me off so bad when I saw that. But
yeah, it's like your whole, been lied to, man.
We've been deceived by the OJ company, man. Florida screwed us. They took all the OJ. They really left us hanging there.
They took all the vitamin C and kept it for themselves.
We're left with no pulp, no vitamin C.
Pretty sure they're gonna be selling vitamin C like fentanyl.
That's it. No juice. Oh God. God knows what they're putting in everything. Like tobacco. There's a rumor, now don't quote me, there's a rumor that goes around amongst smokers that they put extra stuff in there to make it more addictive.
Oh, that's fact.
That the fentanyl game is no new trick in the bag.
No new trick. It's one of the oldest tricks in the book. In fact, just more advanced in the way it's fucking synthesized.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That is the way it goes. Alright guys, we're about out of time, so we're going to go ahead and turn this on over. And I'd like to thank AD for being my guest.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, AD, always a pleasure, man. I'd like to have you back again soon to check on your progress, see how you're going. Maybe let me know when you hit green lanyard, because as I forgot to mention, he has a yellow lanyard. Well on your way to green, though. You are a great color, man. It's been an honor. So.
Likewise.
Yeah, I can't wait to have you on again.
Thank God.
Yep. Alright, from everybody out there, this is Old Cobadge wishing you guys good luck. Stay off the drugs, stay in school, and get an education. Peace.